Hey, sir, welcome in. I couldn't help but notice you're ugly crying. Is there something wrong with your pizza? Harry, who would do this?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. So happy to see y'all so soon since the previous side flick. Cause man, we got a lot of movies to discuss here today. Some stuff that makes me super excited. Other stuff that is pissing me the hell off. Some of the stories that we're going to be diving into here today is I'll be giving my reaction to the new Insomniac PS5 games that they've announced. You guys know me, I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I have to talk about it. I'll also be throwing in some minor updates on Spider-Man No Way Home. Talking about the jaw-dropping reveal that Halloween Kills is now coming to streaming. The answer to our question if Ben Affleck's Batman is going to show up in the solo Batgirl movie. That along with so much more. So I'm gonna need you guys to give me your opinions down below, especially on this Halloween Kills situation, because as you know, right now I've started my journey of reviewing all the previous Halloween movies. Thank you all so much who went ahead and clicked on that first video. It was a lot of fun to make. They're not like my typical reviews. I actually go ahead and go shot for shot into the movie and diving into what I love and throwing in a little skits here and there. So hopefully if you have the time, go ahead and check that out. And if not, well, just check out whenever I talk about your favorite Michael Myers sequel. But before diving into that, I know I'm strictly a movie channel, but once in a while some stuff crosses over and I have to talk about these things that were just announced at the PlayStation event yesterday. Timestamps in the description if you want to skip ahead. But real quick, I was just blown away yesterday at the announcements that Insomniac made for their upcoming next-gen console video games. Like when we were all hoping to see some Spider-Man 2 footage and figure out a little bit more about what's going on with that game sequel, since I love the first game a lot. But then surprise thrown at our face when they announced they're making a Wolverine video game. And it's by Insomniac, who just gave us a perfect Spider-Man game, so I'm really looking forward to that. Other people have even noticed there's a little Easter egg hidden in there that hints to Wolverine possibly fighting the Hulk, as there's a license plate that reads the same issue where Wolverine fought the Hulk, but again, that could just be an Easter egg to the first appearance of Wolverine. Nonetheless, I remember having fun with Wolverine Origins video game, and if Insomniac can even do half the job they did with Spider-Man PS4, then this game is gonna be amazing. And then they also went ahead and showed off the new Spider-Man PS5 video game, and the footage is looking breathtaking. You can see that Spider-Man is now wearing some enhanced claws similar to the Iron Spider suit, only this time Peter Parker is most likely making it himself instead of relying on a billionaire to make it for him. Now, as this trailer is going on, there's a couple of things to notice. Is the main voice that is speaking at the beginning is said to be Kraven the Hunter, so it looks like he's going to be one of the villains in this sequel. We know at the end of the first video game they teased Norman Osborn and Venom, who would be played by Harry Osborn. That's a twist, and we get our first look of Venom right here, who is being voiced by the iconic Tony Todd, Candyman himself. I cannot wait to play that. And I mean, if you have Kraven and Venom, and they're obviously teasing Spider-Man getting the black suit, there's so many possibilities. We know what happens when Spider-Man puts on a black suit. He turns into Tobey Maguire. Could we see him having some conflict with Miles Morales and even fighting him in the game? I can't wait to play that. You video game heads, let me know what you think of this stuff Insomniac announced. Alright, but now jumping into some of the movie news stories here, we have some exciting horror stuff that is happening right now. Just some quick fire stories I want to throw at you guys. We got our first look at Ethan Hawke in the new Scott Derrickson horror movie titled The Black Phone. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I really like the premise of this movie, and Scott Derrickson, who made Doctor Strange and also Sinister, has a great idea for a movie right here. So with this photo for Black Phone, the movie is about, after being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. I guess these will be the little kids that'll be haunted by Ethan Hawke's character, which only gripe, again, we have the black clothing with a random mask. You guys know that is my biggest gripe with slasher movies. If you make a slasher or some sort of killer, give him a more original costume than black on a random mask, please. But I thought that premise just sounded awesome right there. You're abducted, you have this phone that isn't connected to anything, but when you answer it, it's just all his previous victims, and they're gonna give you advice on how to escape. Also, some details of people who have seen the first footage say that Ethan Hawke's character carries around black balloons, like he's some sort of evil Pennywise. I think I'm gonna like this movie. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the first look for Black Phone and if it's a movie you'd be willing to see. The other quick news I wanted to throw in there, horror related, since we are starting to get into the Spooky Mama month very soon, we have here the news that the Orphan prequel that a lot of fans have been anticipating has now gone ahead and been picked up by Paramount Studios. This is kind of a big deal because the current studio that had Orphan Kills was most likely just gonna release it on a streaming service or straight to DVD. But the fact that Paramount is seeing the buzz for this movie, maybe even a little bit of the film, and has some confidence confidence in it. They're like, you know what? This is theater worthy. We're going to pick it up and distribute it around the world. I'm excited to see what they do with this because they're bringing back the same little girl to play Esther, the orphan, and she's not a little girl anymore. And if you know anything about this movie, she's supposed to be a little girl. But they said they're using practical effects and camera trickery to do all that. So I'm curious to see the movie just for that fact alone. Does this make you confident to see the Orphan prequel that a big major studio was like, oh, we want that movie? But now getting to the horror news that was kind of pissing me off, and maybe I just need to check myself before I wreck myself. We got the announcement yesterday after I was all excited from posting my first review for the Halloween franchise, getting all pumped up. My day got a little soured because it was announced by Universal that Halloween Kills is now going to theaters and streaming on the exact same day, much like HBO Max. Oh, and the kicker? It's gonna go to Peakcock. Nobody has Peacock. This is honestly a surprising turn of events for me because I did not think Universal was going to do this, especially with some of the box office numbers that we've been seeing for movies that aren't doing the same day and date release, like Free Guy, who is just earning a good amount of money every other week at the box office because you can only see it in theaters. Same thing with Shang-Chi. Marvel only released that in theaters and didn't make it available to Disney Plus, even with a premium charge. And that movie exceeded expectations at the box office. But after Halloween Kills premiered at the Venice Film Festival this past week and it was getting mixed reactions, some people thinking it's a great slasher movie, other more uptight critics are actually giving some negative reviews because the movie's a little too violent, brutal, and feels like an old school slasher. Those sound like positives to me, man. So to me, it kind of made me wonder, is it because of these negative reviews and Universal losing faith in its potential to earn money week after week in theaters because of these bad reviews that they're like, all right, let's just put it on a streaming service too? Because right now, all the other streaming services are laughing at us and Peacock is getting nowhere. It's really hard to say, and the main reasons for me why I feel soured on this is one, because I do believe in the movie theater experience. I think that's the perfect way to enjoy a movie of this caliber, but also for the fact, if you release a movie on streaming, man, it's gonna get pirated like crazy. It just is, and it'll resort to loss in money. Whichever way you put it, this movie's gonna lose money, and also Halloween Ends has not been filmed. So part of me is worried that the movie could do so badly at the box office that they don't even go ahead and make Halloween Ends. But I think that's an exaggeration, and I have to kind of slap myself and just realize we're still in the middle of a pandemic. There's places out there that can't go to the theaters. I get comments all the time of people saying their local cinema isn't open or that they are afraid of contracting the virus, and I can't blame them for that. Like, I thought this tweet right here was the perfect example of what's going on in the world and how some people just can't risk going outside to a public area like theaters. And so paying $10 for a streaming service to watch one of your favorite horror movies in October is really not a bad deal. So as much as the old school bird in me is like, man, this deserves to be a theater only, I'm just happy now everybody can enjoy Halloween Kills come this October. But I want to know from you guys, what is your opinion on Universal doing this? I'm surprised they didn't even do a little premium charge. Next story here is something else that made me a little sad, is we got an update on the upcoming Batgirl movie that is set to premiere on HBO Max. Now, we've already been confirmed who will be playing our Batgirl. It'll be the actress Leslie Grace. And we've also heard other reports that J.K. Simmons is in talks to play Jim Gordon, the father of Batgirl. And if that comes to be, that would mean that this Batgirl movie is set in the Snyderverse, and Ben Affleck's Batman would exist in the same world as this Batgirl. And in my mind, I was like, you can't have a Batgirl movie without Batman there to hand her some gadgets, give her the costume, teach her a little bit of the ropes. In my mind, I think that's just common sense. Well, shows what I know, because now we have reports that it looks like Ben Affleck's Batman will not be showing up in this Batgirl movie. In a recent interview, Leslie Grace, who is playing Batgirl, went ahead and said this: Miss Margaret, hi, I just want to say I'm a huge fan, and if you think it's a good idea for Harley Quinn to stop by, we're welcoming all of the help. Batman's out. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm going to need some of my ladies to help me out on this next run. You know what I'm saying? We love you. That was kind of her addressing Margot Robbie and saying that she would love to have Harley Quinn show up in the movie. Now, that's not official. I think that's just her wishing for that to be true, because who wouldn't want Harley Quinn in their film? But that line where she mentions Batman's out, he's busy doing other stuff in this world, so in my solo movie, he's not going to be in there, and it looks like she'll just sneak into the Batcave and help herself to some Batman gadgets and become Batgirl. I really don't want to be that guy who judges a movie before it comes out, because they made Venom work without Spider Man, and I thought there was no way in hell you could make a Venom movie without Spider Man. That movie made $800 million. So now to me, it definitely seems like Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be retiring after his appearance in the Flash movie. And whatever they do in that film, it'll retire the character or at least put him in a mission where we just hear he's out in the background doing stuff, but we just never see him. How are you guys feeling on the fact that the Batgirl movie will not involve Ben Affleck's Batman? And then just quickly updating on the situation going on with Spider-Man No Way Home, because man, it has just been a crazy ride. And there is someone out there that is being hunted down by Kevin Feige himself for releasing that HD 4K look at my boy Andrew Garfield on what we now believe is the set of Spider-Man No Way Home. Like I said, I'm willing to take the L on this because I was really persistent in thinking that this was fake and photoshopped, but now there's no denying it. This footage is real, even to the point now, thanks to this HD look, people are trying to guess what exactly Andrew Garfield is saying here, and some people have nailed it down to saying the words, "So you have like web blood," which is him addressing Tobey Maguire, who is out of frame, but you can kind of see his fingers, and that does seem like a funny thing Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man would say to Tobey Maguire, because he doesn't have web shooters like Tom Holland or him. That would be a funny little quip he'd say. Oh, so you have like web blood? And it's just crazy how perfectly that matches with his lips, but other people have other guesses. Like some people are saying, so there's no way back, or so we don't have a plan. The other crazy part is the person who leaked this footage is now teasing that he has a Tobey Maguire version of this that he's gonna release today. And it's just getting to the point now where it's just so spoilery. A little too much is being revealed that I'm still a Spider-Man fan at heart, and I love being surprised when I go to the theaters that if it is released, I don't know if I'm gonna make a video on it, guys. I'll definitely still talk about Spider-Man when more official news comes out, but at this point, I just kind of want to wait and see. But who knows, after I see all my other YouTube friends making videos on it like Cosmic or Heavy Spoilers, I'll get the nervous, paranoid feeling that, oh, I need to make a video on this too or else I'm gonna become irrelevant. They'll all unsubscribe and they won't love me anymore. Yeah. Mental health. It's important, guys. But you guys give me your opinions on these leaks involving Spider-Man No Way Home. What is your opinion on them? Do you think they're fabricated? Should Sony or Marvel be taking any action? I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on that. But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe. And I also will be reviewing Malignant later today. In fact, Warner Brothers sent me a little package. I opened it up on my TikTok. So if you want to see what they sent me involved with that movie, check that out there. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.